When's the last time you had 36 beers?
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That podcast, where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
I could tell you when the last time I had 36 beers.
Never. I'm assuming never.
It's probably with you.
I've never had 36 beers in one day.
Maybe we did 36 beers combined.
Yeah.
Combined our powers.
We've done. Yeah, we've easily done 30 in a night, as we all know from that one time, the Gansett Challenge night. Never to be spoken of again.
Now permanently recorded and shared across the internet.
That's right.
All right, so we're back with this is part 2 of our breakdown of Morbius, the movie that really made Jared Leto, put him on the scene. Yeah, so let's get right to it.
This is what made his career.
Morbius, Mighty Morbin time. So where did we leave off? We left off with the horror scene of his assistant there getting killed by something creature, right?
I mean, I think it was just some nurse.
He like knows her and he's like, oh, that's Christine, sure. And she's I've been working with her for 16 years or something like that. So
no, she had kids.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but like, don't make her into a main character, because
no, but she's more than just some lady, All right, so we're at the Horizon Lab, right? And we got Michael just kind of hanging out, and he hears the news and chatter, right? Because he's got supersonic hearing too,
right?
And he's hearing people chatting about this woman whose blood was drained from her body, right? And then he's like, this is the moment where he's like, did I do this, right?
Right, exactly.
Did I do that?
So he's horrified. He goes back to his lab, grabs all the blood from all the blood you can carry.
All the blood you can carry. Grabs a hoodie.
He leaves in his little hoodie. Yeah.
Yep.
And while he's about to walk out the door,
which
our Detective Hughes guys show up.
But it didn't make sense to me. Why is he trying to cover up? Like he literally was walking in the hallway without a hoodie on or like that, but he's got to leave the building with a hood. I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter. So he runs in the FBI. The FBI guys are like, "Where are we going, Doc? What's up, Doc?"
First of all, I want to thank you for saving my arm in Afghanistan with your artificial blood. What?
Hey, hundreds of millions
of
lives.
Also, you look a little too old to be in Afghanistan. I'm not the.
Hey,
these guys. Hey. Gabagool.
So they're like, yeah, hey Doc, you're looking pretty good. And he's like, Pilates helps, and then as they're having this back and forth exchange, in his little earpiece, the FBI guy is like, he gets a call of like, woman extinguished upstairs.
Initiate the lockdown. Yeah.
Initiate lockdown. And then the other guy goes
grilling him.
Yeah, they're grilling him, and then the guy goes in. They're like, they're going back and forth, whatever, and then.
But is this about you doing crazy experiments off the coast there? Maybe on a boat? Something unorthodox?
I don't know. Maybe somewhere in international waters? By the way, if any movie is looking for a pair of FBI guys, just give us a call, Jared, Russ. We can play FBI guys for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. In a heartbeat. 100 times better than these guys.
So you telling me you weren't on a cargo ship in international waters?
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is just doing a Columbo impression.
So then he goes to cuff him, and Morby's like, nah.
Beats the shit out of him.
Yeah. And then he just runs and escapes, right? He like runs up the stairwell. He's heading for the roof. Guy takes a cop.
Idiot cop fires wildly in a hospital.
Yeah, like, what are you doing, dude?
Lab situation. Yeah. What are you doing?
What are you doing? There are people here.
Oh my god.
So he's on the roof, and then I was confused what was going on here. So
they're doing a foreshadowed.
Oh,
they're trying to beat you over the head with a foreshadowed.
Oh, I get it for later on. I think I was confused because like he gets to the rooftop and then he starts getting like the wind.
Whoa.
Well, at first I was like, because Tyrese's like character, he chases him, gets on top of the roof, and he's got him at gunpoint. I was like, wait, does he have some special gun that's like holding him back from jumping off the roof right now?
Nope.
So yeah,
but he's not aware of that power yet.
Right. Okay. So, but he knows something's going on. So he holds, and then FBI take him in. Right. So.
Right. Because he's a good guy.
At the end of the day,
he feels guilty. He's not trying to do crimes.
He just killed some mercs, some international water mercs. What is it?
Yeah, just a couple of mercs. Who gives a shit?
Right. So we're in prison. He's taking some notes about his condition, right? Still measuring.
Of course he is.
Because that's what he does, right? No chessboard, so got to take notes, doing a little journal writing.
At this point, it's only a matter of days until artificial blood becomes ineffective.
So then we're need a little interview, a little chat with our FBI guys there, right?
Yeah, which one of the guys brings holy water.
You for real?
So stupid.
And they basically just said what we said. They're like, mercs, we might just thank you for taking them out, right? But this Christine,
mercs, who gives a shit?
Single mother of 2. Why would you do that? He's like, Christine, I've known Christine for 16 years, or 8 years, whatever it was, Yeah. And he's
Other cop's like, is this origami a hobby of yours? Pulls out the bat. And he's like,
I
don't know.
You like folding paper?
Yeah. So you like folding paper, huh?
I like folding papers.
No tape, no glue.
Just folding paper, huh? All right. Okay. And then they're like, why would you do this? And he's like, I can't answer that. And he gets a little testy. He's like, it's like, hey man, you're not helping me. I'm a vampire. And they're like, you're not really helping your case here, bud. But and then we get.
By the way, guys, can I get that blood from the bag that I had earlier when I got arrested? And they're like, obviously not. You dumb-dumb.
You sick fuck, no.
He's like, well, you won't like me when I'm hungry.
Oh my god. I was like, not a nod, because not everything's connected in the Marvel universe. That is not a nod to the other guy who gets hungry. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
Yeah, exactly. And this is like roughly halfway through the movie.
Yes.
More or less.
Yeah, more or less roughly there. So then we're in a prison cell, and he's like, hey, you got a visit from your lawyer. And he's like, a lawyer? Huh?
I don't have a lawyer.
I don't have a lawyer. I'm a vampire. You want to talk about real bloodsuckers? Oh, lawyers. I don't know why he's like a 20s speak guy.
Shit, what are the vampire bosses from Twilight? You're not the Volturi.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the Volturi.
I answer to them.
So Milo shows up and they need to chat, and he's like, we need to get you out of here, basically, right? And Morbius
I was like, I can't believe it's not me in prison.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to say.
They're charging him with murder, right? And he still thinks that he'd done this, right? He thinks he's killed this bro.
And Milo insists that he's not capable of that.
Yes.
Several times. You're not capable of that. That couldn't have been you.
Yes.
Don't worry. We're going to get you out of here.
Because it was me.
Right. Exactly.
So then he's like, we need to get you out of here. And as he's leaving, he leaves him a little snack pack. It's like, here you go, bro. A little blood snack pack.
No one notices this?
Oh, no, yeah.
He's under very close surveillance from the guard as far as we're supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, when you're rich and a lawyer, I guess. Fake lawyer.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
So, sneaks him a little thing here. And then Milo's leaving. Yeah. And he's walking out. He's taking a little hit from his little cocktail, his flask.
Whips out a flask. Yeah, which are like inappropriate thing to do, walking out of a prison, and in jet, like they wouldn't let you do that. I don't think.
I don't think so. I don't know. I've never been to a prison, so.
Yeah, but it's also implied that in the flask is probably blood.
Yes, it's his juice. So they're both juicing now. So they're both juicing. And then Morbius is like, and he's like, wait a second, Milo left his cane behind.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's when he puts it together. He's juicing too. So your fake name I gave you when we were 10. So Morbius is like, all right, it's juice time. So he juices up and then starts punching his cell wall and breaks out the window and see
now basically flies around buildings at this point.
Yeah, he just jumps on him.
Hasn't quite learned how to fly yet. Yeah, but
not yet. But then he's flying on buildings. So we're in the city streets, right? And Milo is like walking down the street and he eats a newsstand guy.
Yeah, well, he grabs a newspaper and it's got the Morbius murder headline on it, and the newspaper's guy's like, "Can you believe this guy? Nobel laureate. He's out here fucking murdering nurses and shit. It's crazy. And the guy's like, maybe you shouldn't judge a person based on their looks. He's like, I didn't say nothing about his looks.
Yeah.
And then he eats him.
Yeah, and then he eats him. So then Morbius is like on the rooftop. He's miles blocks away, and he hears all of this,
which is very frustrating. I feel like they really overextended his ability to hear things power.
Yeah. And then he does we get a little sonar stuff, bat radar for the uninitiated to find Milo.
Yeah.
And then they meet up, or Morbius tracks him down, whatever, and then they have a chat.
Confrontation.
And then, a little confrontation here, and this is where it starts, right? So Milo is clearly corrupt with the power he now has,
Right.
And then they drop a bunch of cliche like movie lines, like everything I've become is because of you, and look at what you've become, and
you created us. We're better than people.
Like literally just copy pasted from like another movie.
That's why I killed the nurse. You know what it's like the first time. I had no control over it. It wasn't my fault. I didn't mean to do that. We don't have to kill the nurse. I'm only going to kill people that deserve it. We can go anywhere. We can do anything. Right. Let's go have some fun, baby.
Let's do this.
And Morbius is like, I don't even know you anymore. Like, wait, this seems like this has been this guy's person. He got in trouble with weird Russian mafia gambling ring. Like, this has been this guy's personality for the last 25 years.
Right. So he's on the little sketchy side. So like,
right. Oh my God. He's exactly like this.
So then they fight. It's fight time. Point. And they drag themselves. Fight. Yeah, they drag themselves down to the subway. Milo's having fun with this, right? Matt Smith, I thought, was actually really good in this. I liked he was enjoying being this bad villain guy, right?
Yeah, it was very. At times, it felt almost Spider-Man 3-esque, but
yeah, it felt like sometimes like a little over the top. It was just like this is a bit much, but I get they're trying to do, but it's a bit much
theatrical. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then cops show up. Milo just takes them all out pretty quickly, right?
And does a little dance.
Yeah, just a little dance. Like, yeah, that's the moment where it's like, that's a bit much. We get it.
Yeah, and then basically his whole premise is why, like, we've had death hanging over us for our whole lives up until now. Yeah. Why shouldn't all these regular people know what it's like for a change?
Yeah, all these regs. Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up. Like, what about like, oh yeah, like I worked hard to pay off my student loans, and some people are getting $10,000 off, and you're like, well, why should other people suffer just because you suffered? They're basically the same.
I got you. No, it's just giving you a dramatic. I was giving you a little dramatic pause there. That's all.
Yeah, basically vampires.
So they're in the subway, they're fighting, right? And then Milo goes. This whole sequence of him learning how to fly thing was like learning to fly. What's that song? Everything just
we don't have the rights to that.
No, we don't. We don't. So Milo goes running out. He's all full vamped face, right? And he's just like running in like slow mo. And Morbius is like starting to the train's coming, and he's starting to feel the air.
I can fly.
And he can he's starting to figure out like, wait a second, I can feel the air. I think I can do this. It's coming in the air tonight. Let's see me hear the songs. It's coming in the air tonight. So then, he figures it out, and train comes, and he jumps in front of the train and kind of uses it as like a little wind vortex and flies.
That's right.
And scene. No,
I mean, yeah, that's basically
right.
Yeah. Then the detectives show up, and they're like, "Hey, you guys, you use dead guys. What are you doing laying on the ground over there? How about a meatball sub?"
And then they throw in the note of like, "Hey, we should keep an eye on Bancroft," right? So
they were like,
going to follow Bancroft.
This must have been Morbius.
Clearly,
we only know about one vampire so far,
that I know about.
Right.
So then we cut to Bancroft's apartment, and Milo's watching her.
What a creep! Milo does this a few times the rest of the movie.
Yeah, super creep.
With new powers come voyeuristic tendencies.
Yeah. Apparently. All right, so then we are New York City streets, and we got Bancroft doing some moves to escape the FBI tail. Right? She like cuts through like a bodega or something like that, and then
very easily escapes.
He's like, "Oh man, I lost her."
Yeah. Oh, which way did that broad go?
Did anyone see?
The guy's like, I don't know. Why are you talking like that?
Who are you?
Hey.
Meatball subs. So then, since she hops on a bus and Morbius just happens to be there, he was probably following her too, right?
No, I mean they were. This is the plan. I think.
Oh, it was part of the plan. Okay, yeah. I mean, it was kind of.
I think this is the implied plan. Is like they're meeting up because they need to talk.
Yes. So they chat on the bus for a bit, and he fills her in, being like, Milo took the serum as well, or whatever. Took the bad.
The problem of this movie is the amount of exposition.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I know you didn't see all the scenes that the audience just saw, but basically, here's what happened. Milo took the serum. I think I've got an idea. I can stop him, but I need your help.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Next scene.
So then they're in a coffee shop, and this whole connection and sequence was just very strange. I'm glad you're laughing, because like I was like, what is happening here?
He reaches over the table to get like coffee creamer or something, right? Like what?
It was a cup. No, it was. She had like a cup of coffee or something, and she like slid it to him to have.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right. And then he went to go touch it, and he was like, and he was like,
his hand entered the sunlight. He was like, ah.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, all right.
And then he's like, not that kind of vampire. It was very stupid.
Which, okay, I was like, what kind of?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't get like it was because of the sunlight thing. I didn't get that. I didn't. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't clear.
They showed him like I was like, briefly enter the light.
I was like, oh, is there something about coffee? Like, are vampires like I missed this? But they don't like decaf or something? Like
2 sugars.
Not that kind of vampire.
Splendors.
So then he reiterates again the stakes if he can't get his juice, so we get that again. Okay, yeah, we know this. And then there's like 2 guys who go to like the coffee shop like cash register, and they're like trying to pass off like fake hundos.
Yeah, I love this.
And the woman's just like, no.
It's my favorite plot device. I don't want this. And they're like, hey, here's an extra 2 for you.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? It's fake.
Yeah. What does it matter? They don't pay you enough.
She's
here.
Like, okay. The other guy's like, hey, we got to get back to the lab. And then Morbius is like, lab?
Did someone say lab? Yeah. So then
Dr. Dre?
So he basically tells Bancroft, hey, I need a bunch of stuff from my lab. And then he goes and tails these 2 guys to go find their lab.
Well, I wish he went and tailed these 2 guys. He like kind of tails them, but really just does his listening from blocks away. Remember? Like he loses them immediately. And then he's like, yes. Oh, wait, I can hear them 10 blocks over there. Like that guy's got real jingly keys.
Yeah. Well, he grabs something. He goes down like an alleyway and he grabs something from like an EMT bag. I didn't catch what it was.
Oh, blood. It was blood.
He was just more blood. Yeah.
He stole blood from the first responders.
That's what I figured. Who needed to go treat patients. Yeah. So
he's a monster. Right.
Yes. I've saved hundreds of millions of lives. You know, what's one more?
Yeah. I'll take a couple if I want. That's, at this point, he's killed like, I don't know, 10 people probably.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess it's balanced out by the 300 million he saved. So fair enough.
All right. So where are we now?
So he's discovers the lab and he's going downstairs to follow the boys down to their lab.
Yeah, the counterfeit kids. Yeah,
does a whole like it's like almost Spider-Man 3-esque of like, oh, nice place you got here. Afraid I'm gonna need your laboratory, boys. You can take all your shit, just leave the sciencey shit and the spicy Cheetos. Not a sponsor.
It's like what?
Where did this scene come from? Like, this is out of character.
Yeah, it's just like he's being cocky because he I don't know. It's just very strange. So then like the guy who I guess runs the lab and goes up to him, this is where we get our 27 bones thing, where he grabs his hand and it's just like, hey, you got 27 bones. I'm just breaking each one of these.
Allow me to introduce the phalanges. Which was almost the quote I used.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
So and then he goes. The guy walks. First of all, the guy walks away. Then they all like kind of like scamper away. The hoodlums. And he goes, "Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks of ibuprofen. That'll just heal up fine." Wait, didn't you just break a bunch of the bones in his hand? Like that won't just heal up fine. I don't think. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Doctor listeners, let us know. Yeah, would you be fine if someone broke all the bones in your hand if you just had some ibuprofen? Wait 6 to 8 weeks.
No, no, I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to go on a limb here and be like, no, that's not happening.
Like, I think you have some kind of mangled hand for the rest of your life, right?
yeah. I think he'd be in rough shape for a while. And then we get he says the line here, right? Is it to the guy whose hand he just broke, right? He's on the ground. He's like, "Who the hell are you, man?" I was kind of hoping he's like, "I'm Batman." No, he says, "I am Venom," which is right.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
I must have missed it.
Or maybe he said, "I am Vengeance." I don't know. Like
Probably
Batman.
something like that.
I thought that was funny, but it's
a Milo.
a Milo. And then he does a bunch of science stuff. He's like, "I'm science and stuff now."
Lab montage.
Yeah, lab montage. And then we cut back to
meanwhile, Milo montage.
Milo, yeah, right. Which this was
sexy dancing. Like this is very Spider-Man 3.
Yes. He's like doing push-ups, and we're just to show that he's, he's doing good too.
Yeah, he's ripped now, getting dressed in his fancy suit, combing his hair, practicing his vampire face,
getting ready to kind of getting prepped to go out on the night on the town. It looks like,
Looks like it. I mean, the whole song is "I'm going to have sex, 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 sex."
Just like, what is this?
Okay, beat me over the head with this. Thanks, movie.
And then we cut to the club, right? So he's at the club. Yeah. He's flirting with a girl, and
it's going well.
Yeah.
Also, almost the quote: "Whiskey to remember, tequila to forget."
I don't think that's how that works. I think I know that's not how that works. Mm-hmm. And then one of the bros over there is like, "Nah, man, this is my property. This is my property." Right. Like classic douche. And he pushes Milo. Milo falls over, and you think he's gonna attack him and kill him right there. But he's like, "My bad. Okay, I'll see you later." Wink, wink. Mm-hmm. He offers to buy them shots. They're like, "No, man, get out of here." And then we fast forward to the club evening. He's hanging out on top of a building, like kind of watching, waiting for them to come out. He drops down. I'm guessing kills him. Yeah, he does kill them.
He definitely kills him. And it's on a secure, like they show us, there's some point you can see a security camera.
Yes. And I love how when the FBI show up to this parking lot, like it's signs are everywhere saying
under surveillance.
Under surveillance.
Yep.
Milo, you dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're back at the Horizon lab, right? Bancroft is here. She's getting stuff from Morbius, right?
Yep. And Milo ambushes her.
Yeah.
He's there too.
Yeah.
And she has a couple of quips about, "Oh, I would have made dinner if I'd known you were coming." And he's like, "I've already eaten." Dumb. Stupid.
I also
and she,
go ahead.
And then she quickly follows it up with, "Oh, whatever you had, it's doing wonders for your health." Stop being so coy.
Yeah. I hate it. It's like over the top. Just like stop. This is like, and also very cliche too. Bad guys with a toothpick. Like, why is he have a tooth? I get it. Oh, because he ate some human.
I got a little blood in my teeth. Because famously, liquids stick in my teeth.
Yeah, it's like, but why like bad guys with toothpicks? It's all stupid. So, and then a little tension, and he leaves, and she leaves.
I'm worried about Michael. He's seems like he's unstable. I gotta find him. You know where he is? And she's like, "Nope." And then it should it kind of shows that he
I'm still recovering from a concussion.
Yeah, he can sense her heartbeat. He knows she's lying. And he's like, "Well, we'll have to do that dinner another time then, Martine. See you later." And she's like,
"Toodles." Yeah. And then we're back at her apartment here. Cops bust in with the FBI guys, right? And they're like, "She's gone. The cat's gone." Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And we're back at the Shady Labs now.
Yep.
And
Martine's doing science.
She's doing science, and I think getting the cat set up, or maybe cleaning the litter box or something. And then she cuts her hand, right? And gets Michael all kind of fired up. He's like, "Oh, is there fresh blood here?"
Uh-huh.
And then they kind of have a chat about how it feels to be.
He's like, "It wants to hunt. It wants to kill." And he's like, "I'm sorry." Like, "Sorry for what? You didn't do this." And then he's like, "I'm getting weaker." Like, wait, you didn't have a cough earlier. Like, I thought it was just your legs and spine and whatever. Like,
and then he heads up to the roof, get a little fresh air. He's up there, and she shows up, and
how romantic.
And then they kind of have this unearned kiss moment. I don't know, this like the romantic story B here doesn't really add up for me.
It's very awkward. He's like,
yeah,
come here, come closer, close your eyes, and then he just like kisses her. You're like,
yeah,
I don't know if she wanted that.
Like she's on a roof with a guy who's murdered people pretty easily, so I'm not gonna run. Like
right. And meanwhile, Milo is like watching from the curb down below, which is wicked funny too. He's like, oh yes, slippery.
Just like, what is going on? So then we're back at the club parking lot, and the FBI guy's hot on the tail here.
Hey, you know that the average human's got 12 pints of blood in him, huh? When's the last time you guys had 36 beers? When's the last time you had any beers at all? The guy's like, I'm not an alkie like you. And then they're like talking about, he's like, they go and find the security footage because again, there's a million signs that are like surveillance area, camera, like pointing him out. Yeah, and they're watching and they're like, wait a second, that ain't the doc. and then the guy's like, that's what these bloodsuckers do. They multiply.
What?
Based on what information? What? Where are you getting any of this? Who are you talking about?
Just be smart like once in your life.
Is he talking about the underworld vampires? All
right, so we cut to Dr. Nicholas's house now, right? He's watching the news and he sees the bro. I
hate the news.
So yeah, he's watching the news and it's definitely a little.
Meanwhile, there were several other victims drained of their blood found near this restaurant this other time, earning this person the moniker the vampire murderer. Like, what?
I also love how, like, I don't know if there's like a little smart commentary or not, but like they called out that the guys that were murdered were from Wall Street and they had their blood sucked out. And I was like, really? Is that like okay, yeah. Oh, wait. Why does it matter if they're Wall Street traders? Just like 3 people were murdered.
Oh, they deserved it.
Yes, I think that's what right.
I mean,
in this economy, not wrong.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're back at the Milo mansion, right?
Yeah.
And this is where Dr. Nicholas, he shows up and he's like, Milo, what have you done? Have I not been a father to
you? Yeah. He's like, they're saying maybe there's a copycat killer or killers or something like that on the news. And Milo's like, oh, well, you discovered my secret. Like, wait. No, he was asking you about. I don't think he learned anything yet. But I'm reborn. I'm the resurrection. Why are the lines like this?
It is very theatrical, very dramatic, and very over the top. Yeah, and he's like, we just get more of Milo's motivations, I guess, here too, a little bit.
Kind of.
Well, then he's like, you always liked Michael more than me. Like there was like a little bit of a competition there, right? And he's like, he's perfect.
Yeah. Before that, that's when the doctor's like, well, it's like, I'll take care of you. Don't worry. Like, I'll stay here. I'll help. No more violence. And that's when he's like, you're always on Michael's side.
Like, okay, man.
If anything, you're the favorite. I devoted my life to you. Which I was like, yeah, wait a second. He's been hanging around this guy for 25 years. Like he was having a good time on some Greek island. Like what? Yeah. How did he end up in some
New York
shitty New York apartment? Probably that he lives next to the mansion.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Milo attacks him. Right.
Exactly.
He attacks him. And
doesn't drink his blood.
No, it gives him a little slice across the stomach, the chest there, right?
Exactly. And he's like, and then like leaves him alive, but also that's a pretty bad wound. I don't think you should expect him to be alive. And he's like, tell Michael when you see him, I'm gonna kill as many people as I want to. And he's like, I'm dying. What are you talking about?
I'm not your messenger here. Like what?
Yeah, what?
You tell him. I don't fucking care.
Where's my phone? Like, give me my phone.
All right, so we're back at the Shady Labs here. And Michael's created like an anti-serum, right? And
well, they're like, oh, you're reading up on how to kill vampires, huh? Wooden stakes. And he's like, well, you never know. Like, wait, we do know. We know exactly. It's not how any of this works. You created yourself. Of course. Yeah, you know what? I bet if you jammed a wooden stake through your heart, you'd probably die because
Yes.
any person would. For fuck's sake.
So then so whatever, they're going. I don't know if there's much more other than Michael gets a call from Nicholas, right?
Yeah. Well, the important part here is he's created enough poison for 2. And he's like, as soon as I kill Milo, I'm going to kill myself because I'm a monster.
Yes. Yes.
And Martine's like, oh, no, don't.
No, that kiss was so fantastic.
There's got to be some other way. And he's like, no, I have to do this. I'm a monster. She's like, oh, okay.
Okay. Seems right.
Yeah. And then Dr. Nicholas calls and he's like, hey, you guys, I'm dying. I went to see Milo. And he's like, don't worry, I'll be right there. You're like, wait, when did he how long did he wait to make this phone call? After he got like, did he have his phone on him the whole time? Like, what?
Yeah.
So many illogical movie.
Yeah. It's all running. It's all running. Yeah, it's all moving the plot along things. So then we cut back to Milo's mansion here. It's and Morbius shows up and he's looking for Nicholas and he finds him dying. He's like,
finds his dying breath, right?
Yes, yeah. He's gonna kill whatever he wants. And then
got to stop him. All of that for this?
Yeah, like nothing like a parting like. It was always you, Michael. It was always you. You know, so give us something more. Give us a little more weight.
Save them.
The Nicholas character.
Children.
The Nicholas character feels like a character they could have done something really, really good with, but it just feels like he's just Blair. He's just there.
Well, I think it's again because they try to whatever make that kind of friend mentor character into the into 2 different characters. Like leave it as it was. Make it that character. Don't split it up like this because it ends in shit. All right, well, we have enough substance for at least one of these characters. The other one will just kind of make him a doctor in the background.
Yeah. So hot.
Okay.
Why? So then Morbius is sitting there when he can hear Milo, right? And now he hears that he's got Bancroft, right?
Which again, really pressing his luck on the how far away can he hear right now?
Yeah, this echolocation it's pretty crazy. So he does some more echolocation stuff. He's on the roof, right? And they cut
vampire
back
mode.
Yeah, and they cut back and forth between
vampire.
Yeah, he's earned his wings, right? And they cut back and forth between like
somehow wearing a purple and black cape, like out of nowhere.
I don't.
Wait, where did he get this like hero outfit?
Very stylish cape setup. Yes. But you can hear they're cutting back and forth between Milo threatening Bancroft, right? And he's like, say his name, because I know he can hear you, blah, blah, blah. Michael's all in. He takes a leap off the roof because now he's fully powered and he flies.
Yep.
To where she is.
So dumb. Yeah,
and he finds her on the roof. Well, in between the cuts there, we see that Milo like stabbed her in the throat or something like that, right?
Right.
So then we're on this construction building rooftop, right? Building that's being built. Building that's still building.
Yeah, it's a building for sure.
I think the idea was it was an empty one, so they could have this big fight and no one was going to get hurt, right? So that was the idea.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
It's that smart for sure.
Yeah. So building rooftop, Michael finds Bancroft, right? She's in pretty bad shape here.
Basically dead. Yeah.
Basically dying, right?
Her immediate words to him, Michael, make it mean something. You're like, oh, you just committed to dying.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I'm doomed. I just did this with Dr. Nicholas.
I'm losing everybody I care about. My best friend, my favorite doctor, and my girlfriend.
They don't even have lines.
She's not quite my girlfriend yet, but I think we're going that route.
We kissed that one time creepily that maybe she didn't consent to.
Because I am a monster and she might have been fearful of me becoming a monster and killing her.
Yeah. Power dynamics here.
Hey, that's, so then they kiss and she bites his lip to get the little.
That's right.
The old vamp blood
taste.
Yeah, just give him a little taste. Michael's pissed and he's just like, no, my girlfriend.
Yeah, and then he drinks her.
Yeah, I was like, did he just like bite her neck?
Yep.
I was
Yep.
okay. Yeah,
Sure did.
all right. Hey, vampire stuff, right?
Then he screams more. Milo claps because he arrives.
Because of course he's been there watching the entire time. Because that's what he does.
Right.
He's a big voyeur guy.
Oh, drank the red. Good for you. They keep doing that. This is not. They did it in between here too.
Drank the red. Good for you. Skiddly do.
He's like doing a little dance still.
A little bit of the ultra violence right now.
Yeah, you're my old droog.
My old droogs. So then they have like a short back and forth, but then we get into fight sequence, right?
Right.
And they fly around, or like they fall through like the center of the building. They're flying around. They're taking swings at each other. It's a pretty generic fight, and it's honestly like every fight from probably every Sony / even like the older Spider-Man movies. It's always like in some type of building that's construction site building, and
a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah, no one cares. So yeah, they're fighting around.
Thank God they're wearing nice outfits so we can tell them apart. Like,
yep.
Milo's still got a suit going, and Morbius has his new cape that came from nowhere.
Yeah.
So we're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah, this is good. We're doing good, right? And Milo gets a shot on him, right? He scrapes him. He's like, gets him in the stomach or something like that.
Starts getting the upper hand.
Yeah, and Michael's just getting his ass kicked, right? Pretty solid. Yeah. And it's a classic hard fall down to the street, and they smash to the ground, and they land in the subway sewer. Yeah, that is that what sewers look like under New York?
Maybe no one knows.
No one knows. Yeah, only the rats do. Only the rats.
There's no way to know for sure. And the sewer people.
The sewer people. Yeah, the mole people. So he's just there. So now they're kind of scattered, right, in this giant open sewer space, and he's hanging upside down from like a wire thing from the top, right? And Milo's like, hey, whatever.
It's not a curse, it's a gift. Like, why don't we can go do fun stuff, guy? Come on.
Bro,
like,
let's be
making
bros.
A lot of sense. Like, why don't we go be bros and have sweet vampire powers? This sounds awesome. Like just go live somewhere, like kill a person every now and then, move from town to town.
You know how many people die every day? Like one's not gonna matter, right?
Right.
And as long as they're bad people, if they're bad people too.
Yeah, do a Dexter thing. Turn it into a Dexter bit.
Right.
It'll be fine. No, Morbius has to have it his way.
Yeah. So he's hanging from this thing. He falls, hits the ground, right? And then he put his hand inside like this puddle of water. And
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. I think he's trying to use the water to enhance his screen projection in order to summon the bats, which he's doing now. Okay. He's summoning the bats to him.
Yes.
Like, this is when they give Morbius a stupid, weird bat control power that he does not have for sure. In the comics.
Yeah, and he definitely, this is a new thing we're discovering here. So
it's very dumb. I will say one thing that I appreciate about the movie the rare time where I'll appreciate something about this movie that I didn't appreciate about Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is, again, one of my favorite cartoons of all time, is in Spider-Man the Animated Series, Morbius feeds on people with his hands. He's got like weird like sucker things in his hands that he touches you instead of drinks your blood.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm glad that they kept with, like the comics, they kept with he's like a classic vampire.
Yeah. You gotta get in there, right? Get a little more intimate. Yeah.
Way more sense.
So, all right. So he's in the water. Milo's come up on him, right? And then we figure out his new power, right? So all the bats come storming down through the sewer system here. And then they get more slow-mo stuff, right? And the swarm goes after Milo and like pins him to like the back wall or something, right?
Yep.
And then we get like the bats coming in and helping Michael stand up, whatever. And it's like this big, I'm fully powerful now, right?
Yeah.
And the plan was Michael is now going to sneak through his bat bros while they got Milo pinned, and then he's gonna
stab him with the poison.
Yes, three times in the chest. Now, and then he does that.
Yep, pretty quick. And Milo's like, "You can't kill me."
Yeah,
I'm Milo.
I'm always been Milo. It's like, just die already. Just die already. Like,
and then his last words are, "You gave me my name." And then Morbius goes, "Lucian." He's already dead, you fuck. He probably would have appreciated that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
If you had just called him his name the whole time, maybe he wouldn't have turned into such an asshole.
Yeah. Joke's on you. Everyone named Milo dies from the bed.
Yeah, right.
So there's gonna be another Milo.
You gave me my name.
Can I shine your shoes? So he's done, and then
it gets worse.
Yeah, he takes.
And the cops
off.
show up.
Yeah.
The cops arrive and they show up to this hole in the ground, and they're like, "Hey, what's this hole doing? Whoa, guys!
Did you guys know the sewer's this big down here?"
Yeah, I'm not on overtime right now. I don't. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the bats just fly up out of the hole with Morbius in tow.
Yes. Kind of mask him here. It was very end of Matrix. Very end of Matrix-esque, right?
Yes.
Kick off the Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. Dumb.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
And then it gets dumber because then it pans to Martine waking up with red eyes, and you're like, wait.
The classic. Yeah, that was the end of,
Wait, so I will say, what I also appreciate about that is, again, that is kind of like the comics. Like in the comics, there is a point where Morbius bites people.
Yeah.
And they turn into weird pseudo vampires, kind of, where they get a little bit of extra strength and then the insatiable bloodlust, and none of the other cool parts of being Morbius. And he's like, oh no. So they kind of just put him out of their misery. But she turns into that at one point. Then he sciences up a cure for that. And then at some point she finds a way to turn into a Morbius. And so she turns into a Morbius at some point, but then they find another cure to that.
Never ending cures.
It's very convoluted. But I appreciate that is a storyline from the comics. They're going to follow it through. I like that. And
then, he flies off very end of Matrix-esque with his bat bros. And then we get the title card, Morbius. And then we cut to the credits. The credits start rolling, right? And we get the kind of cool purple vibe, 90s, got our 80s vibe, to it. I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool.
It's fun, yeah.
And then we get to our post-credit scenes.
Right. The hospital.
The first one, because there's always two, right?
Yeah.
The first one, we get a shot of New York City, right? And we got a purple tear in the sky, right?
Yep.
And then we cut to...
Oh, I've seen that before. In an unrelated universe.
Yeah. And then, because all these characters revert back to us. No, so then we cut to a prison and Michael Keaton just kind of... Oh, hey, I'm here. And then we get a news report, right? And the news reporter's like, Adrian Toombs just shows up in a cell. No one knows why, leads to his immediate release. So...
Right, because he's not a criminal here.
Right. Vulture's free again.
He's just a regular guy.
Just a regular guy. So then we get more credits, right?
Yeah.
And this next round of credits, then they, doing the cool animation stuff, and then we get another title card where it's just the letter M.
Yep.
It's like, okay, yeah, we know. Then we get our second post credits scene, right?
Just a taste of Morbius. There's so many more Morbiuses to come.
Oh my God, so many more. So then we got Michael driving in a fast car, driving off the Google Maps chart. Yeah. Just picture Rad Racer right now. He checks his trusty Casio watch, right? And then
it's time to drink blood.
He pulls over, right? And he gets out, and then the wind's picking up, and we see something coming in the distance, right? And Vulture.
Hooray! And then not lines from the trailer.
Not lines from the trailer.
Doc. Not sure how I got here. Think it has something to do with Spider-Man. I think we should probably team up. We should probably team up and do some good, huh? And he's like,
which
intriguing. Like, wait, who the fuck is this guy?
How are you bros? And how do you have his why
I don't know.
That none of it made any sense. Also, definitely not Michael Keaton's voice. I don't know I don't think that was him.
Why wouldn't it be though? Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know, but it didn't.
They had him for a scene already.
I know.
Why wouldn't
they
have at least had him read a line?
I know.
It sounded like he was doing kind of a Batman thing, but I think it was Michael Keaton trying to do a Batman thing.
Well, because you don't see Michael Keaton's face. He's in the mask. I'm just trying to remember if he had any voice change for when he was Vulture in the movie, in the Spider-Man movies. But
I think a little bit. Yeah.
It sounded like someone doing a Michael Keaton impression. I was like,
yeah, it did. It did.
It felt like they're probably like, oh, we can't get him to come in. We can shoot this scene. We'll just have someone do the voice for it. Like, I don't know. It was very strange to me. I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah, agreed.
And then the end of the actual credits, the end, it's over. It's done. The end.
Thank God. Finally. What a nightmare.
Whew. So now you've seen it twice. Do you feel better, different, worse?
I stand by that. I'm not sad I watched it twice. Like, it was fun still the second time.
We've said this, not the worst movie we've watched.
No, not by a long shot.
Like, it's boring, it's pretty generic, and you could put it on.
The writing is bad. Yeah.
Yes, you could put it on while you're cleaning the house. Put it on the background while you're vacuuming, I
think like it's really the script that ruins it. Like, the story is fine, and like some of the shooting is good. Like some of the scenes are like really well shot. I thought.
Yeah, some of them are cool.
Like, but the horror bits are neat, and like the effects are pretty good. Like everything about it is pretty good, except for the dialogue. And like the amount of exposition,
the plot.
I think the plot was fine. Like, the plot was like a fine origin story for Morbius.
Very cut and paste though. It just felt like, this is. Yeah, you literally do grab any other superhero movie and just be like, okay, do control, find, replace Spider-Man to Morbius or whatever,
That's kind of the deal.
I feel like they could have done what I think would have been cool. I got excited because when I saw the opening credits, like that purple, like 80s kind of 90s vibe to it, I was like, oh man, maybe they're going to kind of go all in on that kind of feel and like a horror, like kind of like a horror, which I think they should have led
like Stranger Things, like.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know. They could have just made this a little bit more, I don't know, interesting. I think some of the characters were just there, just there to be there to do plot stuff. Like they were, they didn't.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's because of the script. Like, I think if they had written some of those characters better, give Martine a few more lines, give Dr. Nicholas a few more lines, maybe like make them more interesting. Cut the FBI guys entirely.
I don't even know if they were needed.
No.
I guess him getting in prison and then now, but I mean, even then,
just for exposition's sake, yeah.
Like
you could do that a different way.
Yeah, you could do him discovering Milo is juiced up by like an interaction with Dr. Nicholas, right? Like you could have reshaped that and made him more important of a character to these two guys' lives.
Yeah, throw in another Spider-Man character for kicks. Throw in Dr. Connor, like make it more interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
but it was fine. I think it was fine.
Yeah.
Would I watch it a third time?
No. You're thinking about it.
Maybe years from now. Not anytime in the next 5 to 10 years.
When you're like, oh man, I got to get caught up on all my Sinister Six canon.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I've got a little nostalgia for the the early days of this.
Yeah.
Remember Morbius?
It's like, I need to rewatch an origin story. They're going to do 5 more times for all the other.
Yeah, 2030, I'll be like, oh man, wow, can't believe they stopped selling gas cars. I guess I should watch Morbius.
Jared Leto still looks like Jared Leto.
Right. Oh, weird.
It's weird, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. I think let's shut it down.
Good up.
Yeah. Good stuff. Nice job, bud.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with the next episode with a new movie. Unsure what that's going to be. So just,
could be anything.
Yeah, find out. The way you could find out is if you follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That or ITMTpod on Twitter. And if you're on Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening, subscribe and like. And if you have a friend, if you enjoyed this episode, you think someone would enjoy it, send it to them.
Especially if they're in Idaho.
Do your part.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Team effort.
And while you're telling your friends in Idaho that they should listen to It's This Meets That, you can also write us a review because that will inevitably help someone in Idaho find us. 5 stars, please. Comment can be whatever you want. Positive or negative, I don't care. Leave us 5 stars. That's what we want. If you want to give us longer form feedback, send us a nice email. You're allowed to. We have one of those. We'll read them on the Trailer Trash episodes. Yeah. Fan service like we do whenever someone emails us at itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website where we've got even more information, all the old episodes, anything you could ever want that's ITMT related. Check it out. It's thismeetsthat.com.